Talk about our baby babe.
No.
Saying she got Anthony Davis eyebrows.
He sure did.
She even said her
I said
eyebrow
it,
is
but-
big, as in put both of them together.
What? He said eyebrow, not eyebrows.
Only I get to call her unibrow.
Sabbath peace.
Sabbath peace.
It's another opportunity for us to come together and hear and learn of the word of truth that's given to us by the Most High God. All honor goes to the Father through the Son, whose name is YAHUAH. In him lies the only hope for salvation. We know that it is obtained by grace through faith, not of works, lest anyone should boast, and given freely as a gift to all who obey him. We understand that if you do not obey him, it is made manifest or made obvious that you do not believe. In this state, you should expect no good thing from the Most High. However, anything that you do get, whether it be a gift of tongues, a gift of prophecy, or any supernatural experience that you may have, it can and it will be used against you in the day of judgment. With that said, peace to the saints that are in the room, to the saints that are watching on the camera, saints that couldn't make it, but no peace to the wicked. The only thing we say to them is repent that they might live. Or as my boys say, yiv.
Yeah.
Let's open up to where we leave off last week.
We left off at Leviticus 27.
What's wrong with him?
We didn't?
No.
Did we read 27?
No, we did numbers for sure.
We was in Numbers.
Yeah, matter of fact,
Did
we left
even
off
read?
Numbers 5.
Oh, we did read 27. And
No,
said
we
didn't.
didn't.
No, we was going to come back to 27.
Yeah, we haven't come back
So we
to
left off right before we start talking about the Nazarite.
it. Yeah, so it should be Numbers 5. You got to help me out with what verse?
All right, look at my paper. Hold on.
Huh. Ashley, are you okay?
Yes, I'm okay. I can't breathe a little bit, but I'm fine. What?
If you can't breathe, then you might want to get from under there.
What? When I can't breathe, I just
Numbers 5:11.
stick out.
It's Numbers chapter 5, verse 11. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Numbers chapter 5, verse 11. Let's see what the book says.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel,
Now
and
watch
say
this.
to them,
Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them,
If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept close, and she be defiled, and there be no witnesses against her, neither she be taken with the manner, and the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled.
right? So essentially he's saying, if a man know or feel like his wife cheated, right? But didn't catch her in the act. Remember our law, we haven't got to it yet, but our law would say that you catch him in the act, both of them got to be brought forth, right? So in this scenario, didn't catch him in the act, therefore he feel like it happened, but he ain't got the strong evidence, he ain't got the hard evidence for it, right? The Most High God is setting up a procedure on how to handle this, right? So this would handle a situation where she was defiled and nobody knew about it, or she wasn't defiled, right? And she's accused falsely. So let's look at it.
Then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy, an offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance.
Right? This is an offering of memorial to bring iniquity to remembrance. Watch this.
And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel.
Now watch this. The priest is going to take holy water, and he's going to put the holy water inside of an earthen vessel. Watch this.
And of the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it into the water.
So then he going to take the dust that's from the floor of the tabernacle. It's very important. He take holy water, right? And then he puts that holy water in an earthen vessel. Then from there, he takes the dust from the floor, and then what do he do with it?
And put it into the water.
Then he puts that into the water, right? Watch this.
And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord and uncover the woman's head, and
Right.
put the offering of memorial in her hands, which is the jealousy offering. The priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causes the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, if no man have lain with thee, and if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanness with another instead of your husband, be thou free from this bitter water that caused the curse.
Right? So now he has this water, what's now called the bitter water. He said, listen, if nobody lay with you, right, and you haven't gone aside, you ain't even got to worry about this curse. Right? Now, practically, what might a woman do, her being superstitious in this situation?
She'd be like, I'm not drinking that.
She ain't going to want to drink it. Right? She may even admit, like, all right, listen, this is what happened. Right? Or she might crack, or she just run from the whole situation. Right? Keep going, watch this.
But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man hath lain with thee besides thine husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall say unto the woman, the Lord make thee a curse and an oath among thy people. When the Lord does make thy thigh to rot and thy belly to swell. And this water that causes the curse shall go into thy bowels to make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water.
Well, he said, hold on. The priest is going to write the curses. So he writes those curses. And where did he write them?
In a book.
And then he going to do what with them?
He shall blot them out with the bitter water.
So after he write the curses, the water somehow gets rid of the curses from the book. Keep going.
And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that caused the curse. And the water that caused the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Lord and offer it upon the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the offering, even the memorial thereof, and burn it upon the altar, and afterward shall cause the woman to drink the water. And when he has made her to drink the water, then it shall come to pass that if she be defiled and have done trespass against her husband, and done trespass against her husband, that the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter, and her belly shall swell, and her thigh shall rot, and the woman shall be a curse among her people. And if the woman be not defiled, but clean, then she shall be free and shall conceive seed. This is the law of jealousies, when a wife goes aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled. Or when the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous over his wife, and shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity.
All right? So what's the purpose of this law?
To see if she defiled or not.
The practical purpose is to provide some type of resolution, right? According to our law, the woman can't be put to death. She wasn't caught in that. Period. Right? The way this plays out, even if she is truly guilty of it and it just can't be proven, she's still not put to death. She just drink the bitter water, you know what I'm saying, and go on about life. If she got to deal with the curse that comes with the bitter water. Right? So at no point is she able to be put to death. This is actually merciful. If she did step out and wasn't doing what she was supposed to do. Right? And then on the other hand, it gives a husband an outlet, right? So now instead of having this jealousy that you can't prove, you're arguing about it every day, this, that, and the other, right? Then you end up doing something cruel to your wife. You know what I'm saying? You end up doing something you ain't supposed to do to your wife. It gives a outlet where it's like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We'll deal with this thing. This is this is what you got to do. This is how you feel. So that way it suffered. That's why at the end it say so that her husband not suffer sin, right? Because it puts him in a position where he don't have to, you know what I'm saying? He don't have to, it'll make it easier for him to not make a mistake in that scenario. Right?
Some justice.
Exactly. So that's the purpose of this law. That's why the law is in place. That's why it's there. Right? But we got to talk about what this law really talking about. You have water, holy water, set apart water, right? Where was that water put?
It was in tabernacle. It was in an earthen vessel.
The water was put in an earthen vessel. You have the Spirit of the Most High God that was also put in an earthen vessel. right? After he got put in the earthen vessel, his name was YAHUAH. YAHUAH was a man. What was man made from?
The dust.
The dust. So you see the dust was scraped from the bottom and then put inside of the earthen vessel as well with the water. Then you notice that the water itself blotted away the curses. So he wrote the curses down in the book, and then the water blotted away the curses, which is exactly what YAHUAH does for us, right? And then YAHUAH does two things, right? YAHUAH being the word, right? The word, we don't have to get it, but in Deuteronomy, let's just get it real quick. Get Deuteronomy chapter 30.
Be quiet.
It's Deuteronomy chapter 30. I think I want like verse, what I want, probably like verse 11 maybe.
For this commandment which I command thee this day is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 verse 11. Watch what the book say.
For this commandment which I command thee this day is not hidden from thee, neither is it far off. Mm-hmm. It is not in heaven that thou should say, who shall go up for us to heaven?
Right? He said it's not in the sky in a way that you have to say, who's going to go up to the sky and get it for us? Right?
And bring it to us, that we may hear it and do it. Neither is it beyond the sea that you should say, who shall go over the sea for us and bring it to us that we may hear it and do it. But the word is very near unto you, in your mouth and in your heart, that you may do it. See, I have set before you this day life and good.
He said, I've set before you this day life and good.
And death and evil.
And death and evil. Right? He's talking about one word. But this one word brings what?
Life.
Life or death. Good or evil. All from one word. Right? Keep going. Watch this.
In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy God, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments, and his statutes, and his judgments, that you may live and multiply. And the Lord thy God shall bless thee in the land where you go to possess. But if thine heart turn away, so that you will not hear, but shall be drawn away, and worship other gods and serve them, I denounce you unto this day, that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land where you possess over Jordan to go possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore,
Blessing and what?
And cursing.
Blessing and cursing. All from one word. Right? Keep going.
Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
So now, one word can give you blessings or cursing. Right? So now if you go back to this water, the water does the same thing. Depending on the individual that drinks this water, she might be cursed, or it might have no effect and she can continue to birth children. Right? But it all depends on the individual. It's how the water takes effect. Well, that's the same thing that YAHUAH did. Right? YAHUAH died for everyone. He died for his friends, right? Who keep the commandments. But in that process, he purchased everyone, right? And those who do the right thing, he resurrects them onto life. Those who do not, right? Those who do not obey him, he resurrects them onto an eternal flame, right? Eternal fire, right? So now that call came from one person, one word, one guy. The jealousy is dealing with us. Right? The Most High God presented himself to us. He gave us our law. And what we did is we strayed away from it. We served other gods, other beliefs, created our own beliefs. Right? That's what the Most High God would call adultery or fornication. Right? So because of that, we find ourselves in a situation where the Most High God had jealousy. So he had to make us drink the water. And that's what each of us are going to do. Right? Each of us are going to end up drinking the water from YAHUAH. That is YAHUAH. And it's going to have an effect on us, either a blessing or a curse, depending on our life. All right? That's what this law is prophetically about. right? Let's go to the next chapter. This is Numbers chapter 6. Give me verse 1.
And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say unto them, When either man or woman shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried.
So, the idea of what we're about to read is called the Nazarite vow. It's going to give us instructions on what it takes to join into this vow. Essentially, what this vow is doing is you're saying, I want to dedicate myself to Yahuwah and all of his services for a certain period of time, right? So he's saying these are the requirements for that period of time of joining in this vow, right? So let's keep going.
Who's a Nazarite, TJ?
Samuel.
Who else?
So, wait, no. Samuel.
He shall separate himself from wine or strong drink, and shall drink no vinegar of wine, or vinegar of strong drink. Neither shall he drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is made of the vine tree, from the kernels even to the husk. All the days of his vow of his separation there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled in which he separates himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of his hair, of the hair of his head, grow. All the days that he separates himself unto the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. He shall not make himself unclean for his father or his mother, his brother or his sister, when they die, because the consecration of his God is upon his head. All the days of his separation is holy unto the Lord. And if any man die very suddenly by him.
Now, when y'all listen to this, try to pay attention and tell me what it sounds like. He said, if any man die
very suddenly by him, and he has defiled the head of his consecration, then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day shall he shave it.
So who else can't have anybody die by them?
The priest.
The high priest, right? Right? They had the higher standard. They couldn't even cause themselves to be unclean for their mom or dad. Well, that's just like the Nazarite. And if somebody even happens to just die around them, right, he has to end his vow immediately. Shave his head. That would end the vow, right? Let's see. Keep going. Remember, at the beginning of the vow, what do you have to do?
Can't drink no strong drink.
I want to take the vow right now. What do I got to do?
Can't eat no strong drink. Can't drink no strong drink. Can't eat none grapes, nothing from the vine.
Nothing from the vine.
Can't shave your head. Can't cut your hair.
I was thinking.
No, I got to cut my hair.
To start it?
Yeah, ain't that what it said? Let's read it again. Let's see.
All the days of the vow of his separation, there shall no razor come upon his head.
What's before that?
All the days of his separation, he shall eat nothing that is made of the vine tree. From the
Start back at 1. Let's read it. Maybe I missed something.
Speaking to the children of Israel, when either or man or woman want to separate, shall separate themselves to vow a vow of a Nazarite, to separate themselves unto the Lord. He shall separate himself from wine, strong drink, shall drink no vinegar of wine or vinegar of strong drink, neither shall drink any liquor of grapes, nor eat moist grapes or dried. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is made from the vine tree, from the kernels to the husk. All the days of his vow of his separation there shall no razor come upon his head, until the days be fulfilled in which he separates himself unto the Lord. He shall be holy, and shall let the locks of his hair on his head grow.
Oh, okay. I thought he had to shave it to start.
He shave it after.
Okay, keep going.
All the days of his separation, all the days that he separate himself to the Lord, he shall come at no dead body. He shall not make himself unclean for his father, mother, brother, sister when they die, because the consecration of his God is upon his head. All the days of his separation, he is holy unto the Lord. And if any man die suddenly by him, he has defiled the head of his consecration. Then he shall shave his head in the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day shall he shave it.
So now when you shave your head, that ends it. And he had to end it just because somebody died suddenly by him. Wasn't even his fault, right? Couldn't even avoid the situation. Somebody just fell dead by him. Like, oh man, now I got to end my vow. Keep going.
And on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtles or 2 young pigeons to the priest. or to the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the priest shall offer one for a sin offering and the other for a burnt offering, and make an atonement for him, for that he sinned by the dead, and shall hallow his head the same day. And he shall consecrate unto the Lord the days of his separation, and shall bring a lamb of the first year for a trespass offering. But the days that were before shall be lost, because the separation was defiled. And this is the law of the Nazarite. When the days of his separation are fulfilled, he shall be brought into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and he shall offer his offering unto the Lord, one he lamb of the first year without blemish for a burnt offering, and one ewe lamb of the first year without blemish for a sin offering, and one ram without blemish for the peace offering, and a basket of unleavened bread, cakes of fine flour mingled with oil, and wafers of unleavened bread, anointed with oil, and their meat offering and their drink offering. And the priest shall bring them before the Lord, and shall offer his sin offering and his burnt offering. And he shall offer the ram for a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, with a basket of unleavened bread. And the priest shall offer also a meat offering and his drink offering. And the Nazarite shall shave the head of his separation at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shall take the hair to the head of the head of his separation.
And what's going to happen with the hair?
And put it in the fire, which is under the sacrifice of the peace offerings. And the priest shall take the sodden shoulder of the ram, and one unleavened cake out of the basket, and one unleavened wafer, and shall put them upon the hands of the Nazarite after the hair of his separation is shaven. And the priest shall wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. This is holy for the priest, with the waved breast and the heaved shoulder. And after that, the Nazarite may drink wine. This is the law of the Nazarite who has vowed, and of his offering unto the Lord for the separation, besides that his hand shall get, according to the vow which he vowed, so he must do after the law of his separation. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron and say unto his son, saying, On this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them.
Now pay attention to this blessing. This is how the priests used to bless our people.
I always like this.
Watch it.
The flesh and the blood.
Are we drinking that?
No, we're not doing it.
I'm stuck with gum. I'm stuck with gum.
I didn't go get no grape juice. We could do it though, but
Or grapes.
we'll probably do it Thursday. Next Thursday.
On this wise you shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, The Lord bless thee and keep thee. The Lord make his face shine upon thee and be gracious unto thee. The Lord lift up his countenance upon thee and give thee peace. And they shall put thy name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I shall bless them. So, Nazarite was someone that takes a vow to give themselves to the Most High God. So if you're not a priest, if you're not a son of Aaron, this is the closest you can get to God, if you want to do that. So if you look at the priest and be like, dang, I wish I could do that. It's like, no, you can't do that, but you can take a Nazarite vow to give yourself to the Most High. And that was a way of doing that if you wasn't a son of Aaron. That's right.
Yep, gotta have a long hair. Depending on how long the vow is.
YAHUAH had his hair.
Can you fade your sides?
You can't do nothing. No razor.
No razor.
YAHUAH had his hair. Samuel had his hair. Samson had his hair.
Okay.
And it came to pass on the day that Moses had fully set up the tabernacle, and he anointed it and sanctified it, and all the instruments thereof, both the altar and the vessels thereof.
Right? So this is taking us back in time a bit. Right? So this is the day that Moses set up the tabernacle and everything was set. It's going to recap for us some of the other events that occurred. Remember, if we looked at our timeline, we fast forward to this. Moses set up the tabernacle on the first day of the first month of the second year. All right? Then at the beginning of Numbers, we ended up being in the first day of the second month of the second year. Right? So that was a month later, about a month later. So this is kind of taking us back in time a little bit and telling us about what happened in that first month.
And he anointed it and sanctified it, and the instruments thereof, both the altar and the vessels thereof, and had anointed them and sanctified them, that the princes of Israel's heads of the house of their fathers, who were the princes of the tribes, and were over them that were numbered, offered. And they brought their offering before the Lord, 6 covered wagons and 12 oxen, a wagon for 2 of the princes, for each one an ox. And they brought They brought them before the tabernacle, and the Lord spake to Moses, saying, Take it of them, that they may be to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. And you shall give them unto the Levites, to every man according to his service.
All right. So now, the Levites, we read in Leviticus, the Levites have to do daily sacrifices. Right? It's sacrifices that go on every single day. Who ends up presenting the animals for those sacrifices? We talked about the sin offering and the trespass offering and the peace offering and the burnt offering, all these different offerings that the people bring in, right? But these daily sacrifices, who pays for those?
So like the priest got to get them things cracking.
The priest got to pay for that, right? So that got to come from the priest's pocket. So we're going to end up talking about tithes and some other stuff about how the priest actually gets some of this stuff. But this is one of the ways that the priest ended up being gifted, and have some stuff in stock, right? So keep going. We'll kind of look at it.
And Moses took the wagons and the oxen and gave them unto the Levites. 2 wagons and 4 oxen he gave unto the sons of Gershon, according to their service. And 4 wagons and 8 oxen he gave to the sons of Merari, according to their service, under the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest. But unto the sons of Kohath he gave none, because the service of the sanctuary belongs unto them. Unto them was that they should bear upon their shoulders. And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offerings before the altar.
So first, let's make sure we understand what just happened. So Moses provided some oxen to help the different Levites out, right? So Gershon, right? He got some stuff. Merari got some stuff. Nothing was given to Kohath because the commandment given to Kohath is that he had to bear the tabernacle on his shoulders. So remember, he had to carry it with the poles, right?
You can't put that in no cart.
You can't put it in the cart. You can't put it on top of an oxen or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get no help with that. You got to carry that yourself, right?
Yeah, don't even get no ideas. Don't even think about putting it on.
Yep, and it's very specific. This is our law. It's very specific. It's in there, right? So this is important. It's a lot of this stuff that we read is going to come to play later, right? And we'll be able to look back at it and say, okay, this is what our law is actually saying versus what people actually do. One thing about the Bible, it doesn't necessarily spell out for you and say, oh, this was already written in Exodus chapter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't tell you where to refer back to. You just have to know it. Right? You have to know the book well enough to be able to refer back to all these different areas in the book. Right? So keep this stuff in mind. Keep going.
And the princes offered for dedicating of the altar in the day that it was anointed. Even the princes offered their offering before the altar.
Right? So when it says princes, it's saying rulers. So the different leaders of each of the tribes made an offering also. And they made the offering to the Levites for the tabernacle. Keep going.
And the Lord said unto Moses, They shall offer their offering, each prince on his day, for the dedicating of the altar. And he that offered his offering the first day was Nahshon, the son of Amminadab, of the tribe of Judah.
Right? So Judah was the first one. So what I'm going to do, everyone, they offered the exact same thing, each one of them. So I'm just going to put a graphic up so that y'all can see it. So the offering that they had, it was 2 oxen. All of them were the same. So this is, everything on here is times 12, right? So it was 2 oxen, 5 male goats, 5 male lambs, and 5 rams. And that was for the initial offering. Then you got the sin offering with 1 male goat. Then you have the grain offerings. It's going to be a plate full of flour and oil, and a gold dish full of incense. And then you have a silver bucket, pretty much, that was full of flour and oil as well. Go ahead.
The incense,
Like the burning incense, like you light it and it smells good, something like that. And then you had a burnt offering. Is 1 young bull, 1 ram, and 1 male lamb, right? So each tribe on different days brought essentially the exact same gift. But now you take all this and you give it to the priest. Now this gives the priest a good little, you know what I'm saying? They got their flock. They got a good flock. They got animals to deal with. They got some oxen. They got a little bit of everything to make some moves and make sacrifices when necessary, right? So that's the purpose of the people offering those offerings to the priest. Okay, let's keep going. That's the next chapter. What chapter was that? So 8?
7.
7?
We're on 8 now.
All right, let's go to chapter 8.
No, stop. Stop.
It's Numbers chapter 8, verse 1.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak to Aaron, and say unto him, When you light the lamps, the 7 lamps shall give light over against the candlestick. Mm-hmm. And Aaron did so. He lighted the lamps thereof over against the candlestick. And
remember, now we still kind of went back in time a little bit. So this is right after Moses set everything up. So now he teach them how to light the candlesticks. Right? Keep going.
As the Lord commanded Moses, and this work of the candlestick was of beaten gold, unto the shaft thereof, unto the flowers thereof was beaten work. Mm-hmm. According unto the pattern which the Lord had showed Moses, so he made the candlestick. Mm-hmm. And after the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Take the Levites from among the children of Israel and cleanse them, and thus shall you do unto them to cleanse them. Sprinkle water of purifying upon them, and let them shave all their flesh, and let them wash their clothes, so make themselves clean.
All right. So they had to shave all their flesh and wash their clothes to make themselves clean. Right? Keep going.
Then let them take a young bullock with his meat offering, even fine flour mingled with oil, and another young bullock that thou shalt take for a sin offering, and thou shalt bring the Levites before the tabernacle of the congregation.
Now, what if the Levites didn't have a bullock? Well, now they do, because they got the offering from all the people, right? From the rulers, from the princes. Keep going.
And thou shalt gather the whole assembly of the children of Israel together, and thou shalt bring the Levites before the Lord. Mm-hmm. And the children of Israel shall put their hands upon the Levites. And Aaron shall offer the Levites before the Lord for an offering of the children of Israel, that they may execute the service of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And the Levites shall lay their hands upon the heads of the bullocks, and thou shalt offer the one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering unto the Lord, to make an atonement for the Levites. And thou shalt set the Levites before Aaron and before his sons, and offer them for an offering unto the Lord. Mm-hmm. Thus shalt thou separate the Levites from among the children of Israel, and the Levites shall be mine. And after that shall the Levites go in to do the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, and thou shalt cleanse them and offer them for an offering. For they are wholly given unto me from among the children of Israel, instead of such as open every womb, even instead of the firstborn of all the children of Israel, that I take them unto me. Mm-hmm. For all the firstborn of the children of Israel are mine, both man and beast. On the day that I smote every firstborn in the land of Egypt, I sanctified them for myself.
Right? So in return for the Most High God sparing our firstborn children when he killed all the firstborn children of I shouldn't say children, but all the firstborns out of Egypt, in return for him sparing it, we had to give him and dedicate our firstborn to him. So then later on, he ended up taking the Levites instead of all of our firstborn children, our firstborn of the people, right? So that was the exchange. So he's explaining that to us right now. Keep going.
And I have given the Levites as a gift to Aaron and to his sons from among the children of Israel, to do the service of the children of Israel in the tabernacle of congregation, and to make an atonement for the children of Israel, mm-hmm. that there be no plague among the children of Israel when the children of Israel come near unto the sanctuary. Mm-hmm. And Moses and Aaron and all the congregation of the children of Israel did to the Levites according unto all that the Lord commanded Moses concerning the Levites. So did the children of Israel unto them. And the Levites were purified, and they washed their clothes, and Aaron offered them as an offering before the Lord. And Aaron made an atonement for them to cleanse them. And after that went the Levites in to do their service in the tabernacle of the congregation before Aaron and before his sons. And the Lord had commanded, as the Lord had commanded Moses concerning the Levites, so did they unto them. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, This is it that belongs unto the Levites. From 25 years old and upward, they shall go in and wait upon the service of the tabernacle of the congregation. Mm-hmm. And from the age of 50 years, they shall cease waiting upon the service thereof, and shall serve no more, but shall minister with their brethren in the tabernacle of congregation to keep the charge, and shall do the service. Thus shall they do unto the Levites touching their charge.
Let's go to chapter 9. It's Numbers chapter 9, verse 1. Now we learned about how the Levites got set up, the purpose behind them getting set up, and then we also move into understanding their time of service from 25 to 50. So now let's look at Numbers chapter 9. Let's see what we got.
And the Lord spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the first month of the 2nd year after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, let the children of Israel also keep the Passover at his appointed season.
So remember, we were already in the 2nd month. So again, we still back in time. So it's the 1st month of the 2nd year. And he told us to keep the Passover, and that's what we keeping right now. But watch what he says.
In the 14th day of this month at even, you shall keep it in his appointed season, according to all the rites of it, according to all the ceremonies thereof shall you keep it. And Moses spake unto the children of Israel that they should keep the Passover. And they kept the Passover of the 14th day of the 1st month at even in the wilderness of Sinai, according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did the children of Israel. And there were certain men who were defiled by the dead body of a man, that they could not keep the Passover on that day.
Right, so it was certain men that they ended up being defiled by a dead body, which prevented them from keeping the Passover. Right, watch what happened.
And they came before Moses and before Aaron on that day, and these men said unto him, we are defiled by the dead body of a man. That's why we are kept back, that we may not offer an offering of the Lord in his appointed season among the children of Israel. And Moses said unto them, stand still, and I will hear what the Lord will command concerning you. And the Lord spake to Moses, saying, speak to the children of Israel, saying, if any man of you or of your posterity shall be unclean by reason of a dead body, or be in a journey afar off, yet he shall keep the Passover unto the Lord. The 14th day of the 2nd month at even, they shall keep it and eat it with unleavened bread and bitter herbs. They shall leave none of it unto the morning, nor break any bone of it. According to all the ordinance of the Passover, they shall keep it. But the man that is clean and is not in a journey and forbears to keep the Passover, even that same soul shall be cut off from among his people, because he brought not the offering of the Lord in this appointed season, that man shall bear his sin. And if a stranger shall sojourn among you, and will keep the Passover unto the Lord according to the ordinance of the Passover, and according to the manner thereof, so shall he do. Ye shall have one ordinance both for the stranger and for him that was born in the land.
That's one law. So if we find ourselves traveling, or we too far off and we can't get back to the land, right, to make this sacrifice for the Passover, then or if we are ended up being defiled, we would have an opportunity to celebrate the Passover the following month, on the 2nd month, right? And then in the 2nd month, we would have to keep the Passover, but all the rules were the same, right, as the first Passover. Okay? Keep going, watch this.
And on the day that the tabernacle was reared up, the cloud
So now
covered
the tabernacle was reared up. This is the same day. This would have been the 2nd year during the 1st month of the 2nd year, right? So the tabernacle reared up. Moses set everything up. It's good to go. Watch what happens next.
The cloud covered the tabernacle, namely the tent of the testimony, and at even there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire unto the morning.
Right? So now the cloud covered the tabernacle. So imagine Moses setting everything up. He put everything in place, everything looking good. He walked away from it like, whoo, finally done. And all of a sudden, a cloud comes and just covers the whole thing. Right? The clouds that you see in the sky, just imagine they're just coming down. They just cover the whole thing. Right? Look like a whole bunch of fog right around it. Right? Then what happened? Then the fire. Right? Then after that, the night came. And then it was a fire just hovering above, just a fire in the sky, just hovering above it, right? Keep going.
In the tent of the testimony at even there was upon the tabernacle, as it were, the appearance of fire until the morning. So it was always, the cloud covered it by day and the appearance of fire by night. And when the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle, then after that the children of Israel journeyed, and in the place where the cloud abode, there the children of Israel pitched their tents.
Right? So the way it would work is the cloud would cover it. That let us know we good, we here. Right? Then, as soon as the cloud moves, what does that let us know?
It's time to go.
Time to go. They got to pack it up. What would be the purpose of a cloud covering us?
Because we're in a desert.
We are in a hot desert. Right? So you have this cloud, that's sitting low, and it covers us and provides shade to us. Provides over the whole tabernacle. What would be the purpose of having fire at night?
Because we can't see.
It gives us light, right? So the Most High God was a guide to us throughout the entire time that we are in the wilderness. By fire at night and by a cloud in the day, right? Keep going.
And on the day that the tabernacle, oh my bad. At the commandment of the Lord, the children of Israel journeyed, and at the commandment of the Lord, they pitched. As long as the cloud abode upon the tabernacle, they rested in the tents. And when the cloud tarried long upon the tabernacle many days, then the children of Israel kept the charge of the Lord and journeyed not. And so it was, when the cloud was a few days upon the tabernacle, according to the commandment of the Lord, they abode in their tents, and according to the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. And so it was, when the cloud abode from even until morning, and that the cloud was taken up in the morning, then they journeyed. Whether it was by day or by night that the cloud was taken up, they journeyed. Or whether it were 2 days or a month or a year that the cloud tarried upon the tabernacle, remaining thereon, the children of Israel abode in their tents and journeyed not. But when it was taken up, they journeyed, and at the commandment of the Lord, they rested in the tents, and at the commandment of the Lord, they journeyed. They kept the charge of the Lord at the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses.
That's right. All right, now we're moving on to Numbers chapter 10. This is Numbers chapter 10, verse 1. Let's learn about the trumpets.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Make thee 2 trumpets of silver, of a whole piece thou shalt make them. Thou makest them, use them for the calling of the assembly and for the journeying of the camps. And when they shall blow with them, all the assembly shall assemble themselves to thee at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And if they blow but with one trumpet, then the princes which are heads of the thousands of Israel shall gather themselves unto thee. When ye blow an alarm, then the camps that lie on the east part shall go forward. When you blow an alarm the second time, then the camps that lie on the south side shall take their journey. They shall blow an alarm for their journeys. But when the congregation is to be gathered together, you shall blow, but you shall not sound an alarm. And the sons of Aaron, the priests, shall blow with the trumpets, and they shall be to you for an ordinance forever throughout your generations. And if you go to war in your land against the enemy that oppresses you, then you shall blow an alarm with the trumpets, and you shall be remembered before the Lord your God, and you shall be saved from your enemies. Also on the day of your gladness, and in your solemn days, and in the beginnings of your months, you shall blow with the trumpets over your burnt offerings and over the sacrifices of your peace offerings, that they may be to you for a memorial before your God. I am YAHUAH your God.
Right? So these trumpets were made of all silver, and it had to be from one piece of silver. Right? And these trumpets were specifically for the priests. Okay? It would give us an alarm to let us know, like, hey, there's trouble on the way. But it would also be a sequence to line up our tribes. So you blow one time, then the tribes that's on the east would go. You blow again, the tribes that's on the south would go. And it'll you blow, and then that would send us off. That way we can go in an order, right? We could also blow the trumpet when we all come together, right? For different feasts like we have now, like we were celebrating our feast yesterday. We would have taken this the priest would have taken the trumpet, and they would have blew it, right? To kind of call us all together, make sure, things are official. Keep going. Got to learn about the Day of Atonement now.
And it came to pass on the 20th day of the second month, in the second year, that the cloud was taken up from the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Israel took their journeys out of the wilderness of Sinai, and the cloud rested in the wilderness of Paran. And they first took their journey according to the commandment of the Lord by the hand of Moses. In the first place went the standard of the camp of the children of Judah according to their armies. And over his host was Nashon the son of Amminadab. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nathaniel the son of Zuar. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Zebulun was Eliab the son of Helon. And the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershom and the sons of Merari set forward, bearing the tabernacle.
All right? So it's describing to you how everybody is setting it up, right? Tabernacle taken down. Judah is taking all their tents down, right? Everybody's about to move. So he's going to walk you through each group. So remember, Judah was all the way on the east. right? So Judah's going first. What's next?
And the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari set forward, bearing the tabernacle. And the standard of the camp of Reuben set forward according to their armies. And over their host was Eliezer, the son of Shedur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Simeon was Shelumiel, the son of Zerah. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Gad was Eliasaph, the son of Deuel. And of the Kohathites, and the Kohathites set forward, bearing the sanctuary, and the other did set up the tabernacle against they came. And the standard of the camp of the children of Israel, the children of Ephraim set forward, according to their armies. And over his host was Elishama, the son of Ammihud. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Manasseh was Gamaliel, the son of Pedahzur. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Benjamin was Abidan, the son of Gideoni. And the standard of the camp of the children of Dan set forward, which was the reward of all the camps throughout their hosts. And over his host was Ahizier, the son of Ammishaddai. And over the host of the tribe of the children of Asher was Pagiel, the son of Okran. And over the host of the tribe of Naphtali was Ahira, the son of Enon. Thus were the journeyings of the children of Israel according to their armies when they set forward. And Moses said unto Hobab, the son of Reguel, the Midianite, Moses' father-in-law, we are journeying unto a place which the Lord said, I will give you. Come with us, and we will do you good, for the Lord has spoken good concerning Israel. And he said unto him, I will not go, but I will depart to my own land and to my kindred. And he said, leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as you know how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and that you may be to us instead of eyes.
Right? So he came to his father-in-law, and he's like, listen, you know what I'm saying? You've been looking out for me here and there. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just come with us? We out. You know what I'm saying? We kind of got a good thing going here. Got a little tabernacle, the fire and the cloud. You know what I'm saying? You know, we doing all right. You know what I'm saying? Look, you know what I'm saying? You see what type of order. Because remember his father-in-law gave him advice earlier. Right? Who remembers the advice that he gave him?
And told him not to preside over the people like he was doing.
He was trying to help give him structure and order. So, you know, you can imagine Moses looking like, man, we doing all right. Look at this. You know what I'm saying? Everything look good. You know what I'm saying? We blow the trumpet, these folks move. Blow the trumpet again, these folks move. Hey, it's all right. We set up a whole pre-structure. I ain't got to handle all this stuff by myself now. You know what I'm saying? Things are looking pretty good. Why don't you come with us? You're a wise man. You could be my eyes and my ears for me. Right? You can help us out. You, your people, we all come together. We'll be all right. Right? Well, Moses' father-in-law was like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and go back to my land, my kindred, right? Remember this moment, because this all comes back later when we get to talking about our kings, right? Keep going.
And he said, leave us not, I pray thee, for as much as you know how we are to encamp in the wilderness, and you may be to us instead of eyes. And he said, and it shall be, if thou go with us, yea, it shall be that what goodness the Lord shall do to us, the same will he do to you. And they departed from the mount of the Lord 3 days' journey, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord went before them in the 3 days' journey to search out the resting place for them. And the cloud of the Lord was upon them by day, and when they went out of the camp, and it came to pass, when the ark set forward, that Moses said, rise up, Lord, and let your enemies be scattered, and let them that hate thee flee before you. And when it rested, he said, return, O Lord, unto the many thousands of Israel.
Let's get Numbers chapter 11. I'm trying to cover a little bit of ground today.
And when the people complained, it displeased the Lord, and the Lord heard it. And his anger was kindled, and the fire of the Lord burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. And the people cried to Moses, and when Moses prayed unto the Lord, the fire was quenched. And he called the name of that place Taberah, because of the fire of the Lord burnt among them. And the mixed multitude that was among them fell a-lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes.
Right? So they've been eating manna. Remember the manna that came from the sky? And then they wake up and it's like dew on the ground and they pick it 6 days out of the week. Right? That's all they've been eating for over, you know what I'm saying, probably about a year now. That's all they've been eating. I want to say it was about a month or two in, they got manna, And now this is the second month of the second year. So it's almost a full year. They've been sitting here just eating manna. Just the same thing. Imagine only eating the same thing for a whole year. You get tired of it, right? Like, sure, it was good at first, but goodness gracious, this is what I'm eating all day, every day. So they start to complain. They say, well, listen, it's important to understand the time, because we read it and it feels a lot quicker than what it is. We read it and was like, oh man, don't they see? No, this is a year's time. A lot of stuff changed. You start your appreciation level. You ever really appreciate somebody when you first meet them, or when something happened, and then over time you just stop. You kind of forget certain things and start taking things for granted. Well, that's what's happening. They start taking stuff for granted. Time passed. You know what I'm saying? Everything good. So it's like, man, I remember being in Egypt. We could at least have fish. They had them good catfish. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, that good one. Man, it was good in Egypt. It was good. I mean, we had onions and leeks out here. All we got is just manna. So they started to complain about that. Watch this. Watch what the book said.
But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna before our eyes. And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof was as the color of bdellium. And the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills, or beat it in mortar and baked it in pans.
Right? They tried to find different ways to frickin' eat that thing, make it taste a little different.
And made cakes of it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't try to make a cake. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I get a little different flavor out of it. Let me see.
And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. And Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent. And the anger of the Lord was kindled greatly. And Moses also was displeased. And Moses said unto the Lord, wherefore hast thou afflicted thy servant? And wherefore have I not found favor in your sight, that you lay the burden of all this people upon me? Have I conceived all this people? Have I begotten them, that they should say unto me, carry them into thy bosom as a nursing father, bearing the suckling child unto the land which you swore unto their fathers? From where should I have flesh to give unto all this people? For they weep unto me, saying, give us flesh that we may eat.
Right? So Moses looking here like, you know how much meat it would require to feed all these people meat? Where am I going to get it from, Moses is saying. I want to give them meat. I understand what they're saying. I get it. We have been eating manna this whole time. But if I were to give these people meat, where would it come from? Watch what he suggests.
I am not able to bear all this people alone, because it is too heavy for me. And if you deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand, if I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. And the Lord said to Moses, gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou know to be of the elders of the people, and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee.
So, Kai, you
and I will come down and talk with thee there. And I will take of the spirit which is upon thee, and will put it upon them, and they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that you may bear it not by yourself alone. And say thou unto the people, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow, and you shall eat flesh. For you have wept in the ears of the Lord, saying, who shall give us flesh to eat? For it was well with us in Egypt. Therefore the Lord will give you flesh, and you shall eat it.
So notice when Moses prayed to the Most High God, the Most High God directly responds to what he's saying. Right? It's important to see that, because you're not going to see that anywhere else in the book. Right? Moses directly asks a question, and the Most High God directly responds to it. He had two complaints just now. He's like, listen, you put the burden of all these people on me. I can't take this stuff. Right? The second thing he said is, and how am I going to feed all these people want flesh? I get it, but how am I supposed to get them flesh? What am I supposed to do? So the Most High God responded. He said, well, first, go ahead and get 70 people. I'll get you some help. You know what I mean? They'll help you bear the people. All right, so go get you 70, you know what I'm saying, the reputable folks, bring them back to me. Then the second thing he said, then you tell all these boys they want to eat, I'll get them some flesh. Right? Keep going, watch this.
You shall, okay, all right. Ye shall not 1 day, nor 2 days, nor 5 days, neither 10 days, nor 20 days, but even a whole month, until it comes out of your nostrils, and it be loathsome unto you, because that you have despised the Lord which is among you, and have wept before him, saying, why came we forth out of Egypt? And Moses said, the people amongst who I am are 600,000 footmen. And you have said, I will give them flesh, that they may eat a whole month. Shall the flocks of the herds be slain for them to suffice them?
Right? Hold on, baby, get it.
Or shall all the fish of the sea be gathered together for them to suffice them?
Uh-huh.
And the Lord said unto Moses, is the Lord hand waxed short, that you shall now, thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not.
Right? So Moses was like, how are we supposed to do this? We got all these animals, right? You want me to sacrifice all of them so everybody can eat? He's like, because I don't see no other way. Most High God Moses know that the Most High God wanted them to have the animals for the sacrifice while they in the wilderness. So he's like, you want me to burn them all up? Like right now? So everybody can eat? And that's supposed to last us a month? He's like, what do you suggest? Right? Most High God was like, oh, you think my arm's short, huh? You don't think I can pull this thing off, huh? Let's see how it play out.
And the Lord said to Moses, is the Lord's hand waxed short? Thou shalt see now whether my word shall come to pass unto thee or not. And Moses went out and told the people the words of the Lord, and gathered the 70 men and the elders of the people, and set them round about the tabernacle. And the Lord came down in the cloud, and spake unto him, and took up the spirit that was upon him, and gave it to the 70 elders. And it came to pass that when the spirit rested upon them, they prophesied and did not cease. But there remained 2 of the men in the camp. The name of the one was Eldad, the name of the other Medad. And the spirit rested upon them, and they were of them that were written, but went not unto the tabernacle, and they prophesied in the camp. And there ran a young man and told Moses and said, Eldad and Medad do prophesy in the camp. And Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Moses, one of his young men, answered and said, my Lord, Moses, forbid them. And Moses said unto him, enviest thou for my sake? I wish to God that all the Lord's people were prophets, that the Lord will put his spirit upon them.
So you see what Moses is saying there is prophetic in itself. Because in the end, that is what's going to happen. That's what the Most High God is promising, that all his people will have his spirit on them. But the son of Nun, YAHUAH the son of Nun, he ran up and he looking like, man, hold on. You know what I'm saying? Moses is the man. What y'all out here doing all this prophecy for? You know what I'm saying? You got to forbid these people. They just telling people what, you know what I'm saying? They out here telling people what God gonna do. They not used to a whole lot of people doing that. They really only used to Moses speaking for God. Right? So when you see 2 other guys doing it, and they just doing it openly in the camp, and Moses is not around, you know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, Aaron do it, but Moses right by his side. You got these other guys just running wild. They looking like, who are these guys? Moses, tell them to stop. Cut that stuff out. We don't know if what they saying is true or not. We used to only hearing it from you. So Moses was like, well, hold on. Are you envious? Are you jealous for my sake? He was like, man, I wish this thing would happen to everybody. You got to understand, one of the reasons why Moses is in that mindset is because he like, this is too much for me. I'm happy to have the help. So he looking like, man, I wish all y'all could talk to God. You know what I'm saying? I wish God spoke directly to every last one of y'all. Right? Let's see. Let's keep going.
And Moses got him into the camp, he and the elders of Israel, and there went forth a wind from the Lord, and brought quails from the sea, and let them fall by the camp, as it were a day's journey on this side, and as it were a day's journey on the other side, round about the camp, and as it were 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth.
Right? So there's a whole bunch of quail that came, and they landed. So that's how they ended up eating flesh, because the quail surrounded this dead, just drop dead, surrounded 6 cubits.
Let's see, run about the camp, it was 2 cubits high upon the face of the earth.
So 2 cubits high, so that's like this. It's just meat stacked up like this on the ground, right? And it was if you walked, right? It would be 1 day of walking, 1 full day of walking. That's how far it is, right? So from here, and then miles and miles and miles and miles later, you have stacked up this high quail. So all the people, what they would do is they would go out, they'd grab it, grab what they wanted to eat, and then move on. Right? Keep going. Watch this. I'm telling you, somebody should let me listen. If you watching, you can buy my personal prayer package. You know what I'm talking about? I just need somebody to give me a budget. I will help y'all write the movie. Me and my wife, we were looking at what were we looking at, baby? Was that Peacock? We were looking at one of these streaming services, and they had a whole section of like Bible movies. Oh, and them things were so bad, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could just look at them. It was like one of them was like Jesus and his Jewish influences. I said, these people don't know what they talking about. They had all types of, but that's the one that almost fell out my darn chair. Jesus and his Jewish influences. Like, what are you talking about? You have no idea what you're talking about. And you trying to make a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all ain't even y'all making up stuff and just guessing. It's like, look, you can document exactly how this thing is written, and I guarantee you this is compelling television. This is a compelling movie. Gonna have all the action in it that you see in all and it's legit, it's real. Just buy a couple of my prayer packages, we'll get this done. You know what I'm talking about? Keep going.
And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, and the people stood up all that day, and all that night, and all the next day, and they gathered the quails. He that gathered least gathered 10 homers, and they spread them all abroad for themselves round about the camp. And while the flesh was yet between their teeth, ere it was chewed, the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people.
So they started to eat this stuff. And the book say, while the flesh was still between, before they even had a chance to get the pick and start getting that thing out, the wrath of the Most High God broke out against them. Most High God was like, yeah, no, I'll eat some flesh. Go ahead, start eating it. As soon as they start eating it, the Most High God said, okay, got your butt now. Let's see what happened.
And the wrath of the Lord was kindled against the people, and the Lord smote the people with a very great plague. And he called the name of that place Kibroth Hatava, because there they buried the people that lusted. And the people journeyed from Kibroth Hatava unto Hezroth, and abode in Hezroth.
What was that, chapter 11?
Yeah.
Chapter 12. All right, let's go ahead and read chapter 12 too.
And Miriam and Aaron spake against Moses because of the Ethiopian woman whom he had married, for he had married an Ethiopian woman. And they said, has the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Hath he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it.
Now, make sure we understand the context, right? Moses just went to the Most High God, and he said, spread this thing out. That's why it's always important to know what you're asking for. He said, spread this thing out. 70 of the elders then got the Spirit. 2 of them, the Spirit rested on them, and they started to prophesy openly in the camp, right? When you're talking about prophecy, that means the Most High God is speaking to them and giving them a message to give to the people. Right? Before that, the only people that really did that was Moses. And then Moses would communicate to Aaron. So really, it's really only Moses and Aaron. But there was one other person that was a prophet, which was Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron. Right? So now you had these 2 gentlemen that go out and they prophesy openly. YAHUAH, son of Nun, run to Moses like, yo, you know what I'm saying? You should stop this. And Moses put it out there like, I wish everybody did this. Right? Now, 2 of the people that was with him from the beginning of this thing, Aaron and Miriam, say, oh, do you think you the only person that God speak by? Because now it's starting to be spread out. And they were already people that were interacting with Moses and then interacting with God directly in Miriam's case. Right? So they could easily feel a little more elevated, right? They could easily feel like, you know what? This is not just you, Moses. I don't like the fact that you got an Ethiopian. You need to get you a nice Hebrew wife. I don't like this Ethiopian wife stuff. Do you think you the only person that God's speaking to? Let's see what happened.
And they said, has the Lord indeed spoken only by Moses? Has he not spoken also by us? And the Lord heard it. Now the man Moses was very meek above all the man.
The book say Yahuwah heard that thing. You know what I'm saying? They got to run their mouth. The book say Yahuwah heard that. He looked like Yahuwah up there minding their darn business. All of a sudden he said, what in the world they just said? What's going on down there? Watch this.
And the Lord spake suddenly unto Moses, to Aaron, and unto Miriam, and said, come out, you three, unto the tabernacle of the congregation. And they three came out. And the Lord came down in the pillar of the cloud and stood at the door of the tabernacle. And called Aaron and Miriam, and they both came forth. And he said, hear now my words. If there be a prophet among you, I, Yahuwah, will make myself known unto him in a vision, and will speak unto him in a dream.
Right? So now the Most High God is trying to settle it. Remember, the dispute is, you got an Ethiopian wife. You can imagine Moses like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm my woman, though. You know what I'm saying? We about to rock it. I ain't about to switch it out. And then he looking at it like, hold on. Do you think you the only one? God speaks to us, too. We trying to tell you this ain't right. Right? And Miriam, too. Like, man, look, this ain't right. I don't like how this going. Do you think you the only one that God's speaking to? So now the Most High, because what they're saying is true. God speaking to Miriam, right? And Aaron been close to Moses, who God's speaking to. So it's like, yeah, we kind of got this too. What they saying is, you know what I'm saying, that's factual what they saying there, right? Here's the problem. They don't see a difference in how God deals with Moses and how God deals with them. So now this is what the Most High God got to straighten out for him. He came out, he laid it out here like, all right, so let's just look at this. Anytime the Most High God gets to talking, it's always logic, right? He said, let's just look at this logically. If there be a prophet, I'm going to speak to him in a vision or in a dream, right? Keep going, though.
My servant Moses is not so.
Right? He said, but I don't talk to Moses like that. You know what I'm talking about? I might talk to y'all in the vision and the dream. Y'all just break out in song or y'all break out with this, you know what I'm saying, with these words. But with Moses, that's not how it works. I'm out here showing Moses plans. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is how you build the tabernacle. You know what I'm saying? Look, this is the blueprint to it. You build. Like, I'm talking to Moses. Look, watch what the book say.
My servant Moses is not so, who is faithful in all my house. With him will I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently.
Even apparently. You might get a dream and be like, man, I don't know what that dream. It comes straight from God. I don't know what this dream means. But I know God want me to say it, so I'm going to say it to the people. Right? Or you get a vision like, oh, God, show you something. It's like, man, it's fig trees. You know what I'm saying? And the figs are falling off of the fig tree. You know what I'm saying? And then it hit the ground and the dust flew up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what that vision means. But you know what? I'm going to go out there and say, thus says Yahuwah. The fig tree is there and the figs are going to fall off. And when it hits the ground, the dust is going to fall up. You know what I'm saying? And you got to try to make sense of what that means. Right? With Moses, that's not the case. Moses, he tell you exactly, yo, this is going to happen. The people going to do this. Make sure you go tell the people these words exactly. Right? He said he speaks to them apparently. It's not mysterious when he's talking to Moses. Let's see. Keep going. Hi.
And he said, my servant Moses is not so. He was faithful in all my house. With him I speak mouth to mouth, even apparently, and not in dark speeches. And the similitude of the Lord shall he behold.
Right? And he can see an image of me.
Wherefore then were you not afraid? Wherefore then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses?
So in other words, he's saying, why were you not afraid? Knowing this, knowing what I just told you, why in the world did you not have any fear running up on Moses and running your darn mouth? So now watch what the Most High God gonna do.
And the anger of the Lord was kindled against them, and he departed. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
Miriam became leprous, white as snow.
And Aaron looked upon Miriam, and behold, she was leprous. And Aaron said unto Moses, alas, my Lord, I beg thee, lay not this sin upon us where we have done foolishly and wherein we have sinned. Let her not be as one dead, of whom the flesh is half consumed when it comes out of his mother's womb.
Right? So notice that only something happened to Miriam. Why?
Because Aaron is the high priest.
Aaron is the priest. You have to understand how God works. This is not, some people might look at this and be like, see, the Bible is sexist. Only the woman got punished. Right? It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that Aaron held a position. And it's only by the grace of the position that he held that he wasn't punished in that moment. Eventually, he is punished, though. Right? But in that very moment, he was not. Keep going. Watch this.
And Moses cried unto the Lord, saying, heal her now, O God.
Remember, that's his sister. That's Moses' sister. Right? So that's Aaron and Moses' sister that got hit. They like, man, heal her now, please. Right? Watch this.
And the Lord said unto Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not be ashamed even 7 days? Let her be shut out from the camp 7 days, and after that, let her be received in again.
Right? So he said, don't worry about it. She'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just put her in timeout 7 days. That's what you got to do. Put her in jail 7 days. And he gave her leprosy, you know what I'm saying? Or he gave her the appearance of leprosy, so that because you know, if you see anything that look like leprosy, you got to lock them up 7 days and check and see if it moved. Right? If it did, then you got to lock them up another 7 days. If it didn't, then you could let them free. Right? Let's see.
And Miriam was shut out from the camp 7 days. And the people journeyed not till Miriam was brought in again. And afterward the people moved from Hezroth and pitched in the wilderness of Paran.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right. So we ain't going to jump into, what are we on, 13 now?
Yeah.
We ain't going to jump into 13. We'll pick up 13 next week. Any questions?
No.
All right. Well, let's pray out.